Hey everybody, my name's Anthony, and I'm gonna try to break down this film, Hot Fuzz. It's a very spiritually scientific film. A couple topics you might want to be familiar with are Freemasonry, spiritual science, and a lot of those real more occultic topics. If you want to read up on those, and definitely watch the movie before you come back. But keep in mind that Jesus and Lucifer, I know there are a lot of Christians, and this isn't necessarily what I believe, but this is what the writers of the movie believe. They're undoubtedly Freemasons that you'll be able to tell just by watching the movie. But definitely go check that stuff out before watching this breakdown. Here we see, this is the opening scene. We see this super bright gate, which represent the gates of heaven, and this is where Nicholas Angel is coming in. He plays the role of the seventh or crown chakra, which you'll see that same theme pops up over and over and over and over in this film, and it's absolutely fantastic to see how they've kind of hidden it in a goofy action movie, and 99% of people are not going to catch what's going on. This is just a quick chart of the seven chakras for those that are not familiar with it. I got a more detailed chart I'll show later. But his badge number 777 also has a very occult meaning. It's very spiritual. For those of you that are familiar with slot machines, you want 777. It's a number of spiritual perfection or divinity. It's used in a lot of religions. It's in the Bible a lot. Sevens and 12s are everywhere. There he is again with 777. And interesting to note that the song Goody Goody Two Shoes plays throughout the opening montage here, implying that he's a do-gooder. And it actually gets to annoy people, as you'll see here soon. He's the most exalted of all the peace officers, much like Lucifer was in heaven. He was the best, most talented one, right? And that's what gets him cast out. But here, this is just a really quick scene that you can't even catch without pausing in the opening montage. And you see the CC, and if you're not familiar with Freemason numerology, CC is 33. And that actually pops up a couple more times in the movie. This is just a reference for those that are unfamiliar. If you know any Freemasons, they'll know this symbol. You can see it on rings, bumper stickers, and stuff like that. It's everywhere. Just a few presidents, famous people, for those that don't know who the Freemasons are. Just go to Google, type in famous Freemasons. There's more than you would believe. It's crazy. This is the end of the montage where he is wounded by a man dressed as Father Christmas. He's wounded in the left hand, which is really symbolic to those involved in the occult. Anton LaVey, he had a whole section on the left-hand path. It's about self. It's about the self-empowerment, self-analysis, self-development, and you'll see a lot of that in this entire movie. And this is the scene where Nicholas Angel, our Lucifer or Jesus character, gets cast out of heaven.
In the country?
Yes, lovely.
Isn't there a sergeant's position here in London?
No.
Can I remain here as a PC?
No.
Do I have any choice in this?
New.
And this is just a Bible verse that's about Lucifer trying to be like the Most High. He was too good, and that's why he got kicked out, right? Just like Nicholas Angel. That name, the nickname, Old Nick, is one of Lucifer's nicknames. That's why he brings you presents on Christmas. For those that organize the holidays for the masses, it's the same character. And they laugh at us when we can't figure it out.
Nicholas?
How's the hand?
Still a bit stiff.
Chief Inspector.
Keep your seat. Now, I know what you're going to say, but the fact is, you've been making us all look bad.
I'm sorry, sir?
Of course, we all appreciate your efforts, but you've been rather letting the side down.
It's all about being a team player, Nicholas. You can't be the Sheriff of London.
If we let you carry on running around town, you'll continue to be exceptional, and we can't have that. You'll put us all out of a job.
With respect, sir, you can't just make people disappear.
Yes, I can. I'm the chief inspector.
That scene I find interesting just because those in the occult, the Freemasons, whatever you want to call them, they view the high god as a tyrannical god, and you could really see that theme there with his weird snicker. Yes, I can. I'm the chief
I'm just
inspector.
calling with details of your accommodation. We've got you a lovely little cottage on Spencer Hill. Look forward to meeting you anon. Cheerio. Nicholas, Frank again. One other thing about your cottage. It's not ready.
Here we have some more spiritual symbols with the Swan Hotel. The swan being representative of the spirit and actually signifies spiritual devotion and exudes the presence of angels. So I really doubt that is a coincidence, especially because the original name for the hotel was the White Hart, as in a stag, but they ended up changing that before filming and it switched to the Swan Hotel. And the stag is a very similar spiritual symbol. It was used in Harry Potter with the Patronus charm, for those who aren't familiar with it. And this next part pretty much gives it away for anyone who's paying attention.
It would appear the heavens have opened.
I was hoping to check in.
Check in? But you've always been here.
Excuse me.
It would appear the heavens have opened. I mean, if you haven't figured it out by this point, then I probably can't help you, because it seems pretty obvious to me.
Now we've put you in the castle suite. Bernard will escort you up there.
The castle or the fortress is another spiritual metaphor. It's like a fortress of solitude, a place of peace, or a comfort zone, so to speak. And you'll see that symbolism come through in the movie as well.
Well, actually, I could probably make my own way up. Hag.
And this is the first run-in with Danny, who he's going to represent the heart chakra, the human condition, passion, all that in this film. His immediate reaction is to arrest him for being a drunk driver, just because he has no guidance. There's some graffiti on a fountain outside the pub that flashes real quick, and this is never talked about again in the movie, which is fascinating that they even showed it. But the number 9 in Freemasonry is symbolic of the earth under evil influences. And if you've seen the movie, that's pretty obvious that this town, Sanford, is under evil influences. Here we have the 12 town leaders, representative of the Zodiac, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 ego archetypes. Lots of 12s in this movie. Here we see him nursing his left hand. He does this several times. Here, when he's on his jog the next morning, he has in the background a number 12 building. And again, that number 12 just appearing everywhere in the film. And this is when he first realizes that Danny, who represents the heart chakra, is an angel like him. He can't believe it.
Oh my God.
The angels being police officers.
Who's gone? But why are you dressed like a police officer? Because I am one?
And this is just a more in-depth chart of the chakras before I get into which character represents which chakra. Feel free to pause and look at this, or just Google it yourself. This is real basic, but the colors are important, as you'll see later on in the film. This is Bob Walker. He's the root chakra, along with his dog Saxon. This is pretty obvious. It's a dead giveaway. Doris Thatcher plays the sacral chakra, which is the one that influences sexuality.
Doris Thatcher.
She's your only policewoman.
She's not a policewoman.
She is. I've seen her bra.
She's a police officer. Being a woman has nothing to do with it.
Oh, I don't know. Comes in handy every so often. I could have given you the tour. I've been around the station a few times.
This is Tony Fisher. He's the solar plexus chakra, the third chakra. He's seen here eating. The first time we see him, he's got food in his mouth. Danny's the heart chakra, the passionate one, youthful exuberance and all that. These were a little trickier, but these are no doubt the 5th and 6th chakra, represented by the Andes. They're always paired up. One of them's always smoking, implying that he's the throat chakra. And here is a quick reference to the third eye.
We call them the Andes.
They're both called Andrew.
They said you were good.
Also, because talking to them is an uphill struggle, isn't it, Dad?
The director, Edgar Wright, he's done that before with the 5th and 6th chakra in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, where Scott Pilgrim has to battle the 7 evil X's. The Katayanagi twins represent both the 5th and 6th evil X, or the 5th and 6th chakra. And the crown chakra, of course, Nicholas Angel.
That, unless there's anything you're unclear about.
Yes, sir. Why is everybody eating chocolate cake?
The Black Forest Gatto is on Danny as punishment for his little indiscretion.
Sir, I don't think driving under the influence can be called a little indiscretion.
And this is where Nicholas realizes, or the crown chakra starts to realize, that everything is all out of balance. Everything's out of order.
No, the Gatto is for misplacing his helmet the other week. Last night's incident will require something rather more serious.
Good.
Do you like ice cream?
I'm sorry, sir, I don't follow.
Let's just say that we won't be short of Junkie Monkey for the next month.
And that's it for part 1. Part 2 is going to be more about the villains, or the NWA, the Neighborhood Watch Alliance, which is really just a play on words of the New World Order. And if you're not familiar with the New World Order, definitely check it out. It's all over YouTube. All you got to do is type it in. You'll find a ton of information on it. But yep, that's it for part 1. If you liked it, I'll have part 2 coming up soon. Thank you.